Hi there, guys and gals of the Writing Club. I'm not doing a live presentation today. This is YouTube because tomorrow, during the time when there would be a live presentation, we're going to be doing construction at the house. And so with the hammers and saws and carrying on, you don't get a live feed. Sorry about that. Today, I'm going to be talking more about news writing. And the topic today is the ABCs of news writing. Now, what are the ABCs? Well, the first one is accuracy. The second one is brevity. And the last one is clarity. And of the three, accuracy is the most important. Because a story with errors or distortion creates a false narrative. And we've seen a lot of that over the last 4 years where there's all kinds of false narratives going on. Even, sometimes in like things like Facebook and other social media, we get now deep fakes, which you almost can't tell whether or not it's real or not. So we need accuracy in any news story because false narratives undercut public trust that is necessary for a free press. And, we talked about the First Amendment last time, and the reason the First Amendment protects a free press from government control is for the public to receive accurate, unbiased information. Now, this means that when you write a news story, you need to check even just basic things like numbers, the spelling of names. My goodness, let's spell people's names correctly. Verifying all the basic facts. Maybe it's not 626 Westlake Circle. Maybe it's 626 Westlake Drive. So you need to have everything nailed down. And then you have to be accurate about who said what. Not only what they said, but who said it. So second, we go to brevity. And each word in a news story has a job. There's no superfluous words. If it has no job, it needs to come out. You get to the point in a news story. You say it just once. Don't say at 8 a.m. this morning. Say at 8 this morning or at 8 a.m. because a.m. and this morning are the same things. So eliminate one or the other. And as you're going for brevity, you want to use what they call the inverted pyramid style of writing. And that's you have the most important fact right up front in the lead. And then the next most important fact. And then the next most important fact. And then you create an interesting finish. Don't just stop when you run out of information. Wind it all up, give it an interesting finish, but you still want to be brief and you want to make sure every word is absolutely necessary for the story. Then third, we go to clarity. And clarity begins before you ever start writing the story, before you're ever at composition. You need to understand the material that you're writing about so completely that the story is crystal clear in the reader's mind. And if you don't understand your story, you need to go back and make sure that you get a grip on it, because otherwise you're not going to be able to provide the reader with what the reader's needs because you're going to be floundering around. When you write a story, avoid unanswered questions. If there's a question out there, you need, if any way at all, to answer it, answer that question. And when you're writing a story, it may be really obvious to you or a specialist what you're talking about, but you need to understand that a lot of people won't understand it. And so if it's not obvious to the average reader, you need to take a second and explain what you're talking about. The more you know about a subject, well, you really need to know it to make it crystal clear, but the more you know, the harder it is to make it simple, because we get into jargon and you want to avoid jargon. Now, it's only easy to determine the lead on a story if you actually know what you're talking about. So again, you got to be crystal clear on it, and you got to make it simple, and you got to make it easy, but at the same time, if you know that much, you may accidentally not explain it adequately to people, and then that's a problem too. And in case you haven't figured this out yet, good reporting isn't easy. It's hard to do. It takes time and it takes practice. And that's when you go to journalism school, that's what you do, is you get a lot of practice and you work on student newspapers, and maybe you get some cub reporting in on a local paper. But it is a process, and to become a good journalist and write a good news story, boy, that takes a while to learn. So also be kind with yourself. And as I said, if you're going to use this in a book where you're going to write a news story, make sure that you do pay attention to the ABCs. And I'm going to keep this lecture pretty short tonight. I'm going to get into the who, what, why, where, when, how, and who cares, what does it matter, next week, and we'll talk about that more completely. But I'd like you to think about your news story being accurate as you can humanly possibly make it, brief but comprehensive, and filled with clarity, because otherwise your reader will go, why am I reading this for? I don't understand. It's not clear. I don't know where we're going. So I'd like you to think about that. And I'm probably not going to have a lot of news story things for you to work on this week, because it's kind of hard to pull a news story out of the air. Usually you need to have facts. So I'll give you some other writing prompts and stuff that would be a little more fun. But anyway, we'll talk to you later. Hopefully the next time I see you, we won't be doing major construction on the house again. But I never know, because it seems like there's a lot that goes on here. But we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe.